Why do you think some people claimed that Gamergate was about harassment or hating women?
Mm, that might have had something to do with the fact that it started on 4chan. You know what? Not all of 4chan, obviously, because you have some people in like the cars board who they don't give a shit about any of this stuff. They just want to get together and talk about cars. Um, but you had groups of people like on B or Poll later on when that became a thing, who I guess some of the things they did could be seen as harassment, like the whole sending oh, what was that rap Pitbull, I think, to Alaska.
Oh, I'm not familiar. I don't know Chan culture that much.
Oh man, there were instances of okay, so did you at least hear about the "He Will Not Divide Us" fiasco?
The the the
Shia
music
LaBeouf.
guy who was like he had like
Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf. Yes, he had this whole thing for people were fucking with him for years or for months or whatever.
Okay, so the whole thing with what became known as the biggest game of capture the flag. So there's an internet historian video about it, which I recommend
Yes, I've
because
seen it, I believe.
it's great. But for those of you who don't know, Shia LaBeouf had this little art project when Trump was elected president, and after the live stream didn't work, he set up a flag that it was just a plain white flag that had "He will not divide us" in big bold black letters, and he put it in the middle of nowhere, and all you could see was the sky for the next 24 to 48 hours, or somewhere in between there. 4chan became fucking determined to find that flag. And they did. And they did it using freaking flight patterns. They found it using sounds of frogs in the background. Then they started looking around for potential social media posts, and they found a post from this waitress who got to meet Shia LaBeouf in Tennessee. I posted a picture of the two of them together. A couple of people, when nightfall came, a couple of people started paying attention to the constellations they could see in the stream. It's scarily impressive that even when given so little to work with, they managed to find it, they managed to capture the flag, and they replaced it with a fucking Trump hat. So, 4chan has proven they are willing to go to some serious lengths. So, I think that could have been part of the reason why Gamergate was seen as a harassment campaign, was because it just so happened to start on 4chan.
How important to you was it that bad actors were condemned?
Very, very. Because it's like, look, they already have a negative view of us. You're not helping. And I was one of the people who was still, like, hey, you come to me in good, if you come to me at least somewhat in good faith, or you're at least willing to have a conversation with me without calling me every name under the sun, cool. It was the bad actors that really made the rest of us look bad. I think it diminished a lot of what we were trying to accomplish.
Do you
So
think
yeah, calling them out as soon as possible and just letting everyone know, hey, this we don't agree with this guy or this group of people over here. I think that was very important.
do you think that the community largely did a good job of condemning these bad actors?
For the most part, at least in the earlier days. I think a lot of people gave people like a lot of the people that would show up later on gave people like the ones in GD Revolt too much of a pass. But earlier on, like when it came out that yeah, it looked like Anita Sarkeesian was actually getting harassed. I know it's a lot of pro Gamergate people, myself included, came forward and said, "Nah, dude, guy's not cool. Don't do that." I started seeing it less and less as time went on, but at least in the early days, I saw that a lot more often.
So what exactly would happen if you saw somebody who was quote unquote on your side, or was this mostly people on your side who were doing the harassment, like GamerGate people, or was it like just random people or trolls, or who was it?
In some cases, I think it was a lot of trolls. In some cases, I think it's people who tried to latch on to the movement, and I'd usually be like, "Dude, nah." Sometimes I would say it openly. Sometimes if I had spoken to the person a few times before, then I'd DM them and go, "Hey, dude, don't do that."
You don't have to answer or talk about it, but did you experience any harassment during GG from either side or from third-party trolls?
From antis, yes. Um, there were a few people who I like to think they were just trolls who claimed to be on our side who were like, "Yeah, we don't, oh, so you're a chick, you're probably some SJW type." I'm like, "No, man, that's a term I haven't used in forever."
SJW.
SJW.
I
Oh
don't use that
God,
kind
I
of
haven't
language
used that
anymore, really.
term. I don't either. I don't either. I really don't. It just kind of makes me cringe a little bit, and I think I just threw up in my mouth a little bit saying that out loud. God, and the fact that I used to use that term a lot. God, you know what? I kind of wish I could
Oh
go back
yeah.
and smack that me in the face. Be like, "What the fuck are you talking about? You dumb. I don't care if you're in your late 20s. You're being a dumbass kid."
Do you want to talk about what the anti-Gamergate people were doing that you felt was crossing the line with you personally, or we don't have to? We can move on.
Just like no, it's fine. Just like little personal attacks, like attacks on my appearance or whatever. Um, making assumptions about me just because, like, oh, you're pro Gamergate, you must, just be trying to sleep with a bunch of dudes. It's like, no, not really. Just little personal digs or whatever. The thing that upset me more was when they went after my friends. It's like, look, I there is another video I have private, but I had a clip of me. There was a bunch of anti-GGers who showed up in one of Nurgle streams actually, and was calling them a bunch of like rapists and whatnot, just because they're dudes on the pro Gamergate side, and it actually upset me more than anything they said to me or about me.
Wait,
You know,
what was this specific incident?
uh, this was in the earlier days. This was not long after I started hanging out with Nurgle. And it happened in the chat of one of his streams.
Okay, that might have been
Um,
before I got involved, because I got involved in
it's
2015.
possible. Yeah, possibly. But
Oh wait, are you talking about the specific incident where I've been told this in confidence? I don't want to go too deep because I don't know if they want this public. Was it a?
okay.
We can talk off air. I think I know what you might be
Yeah,
referring to, but like,
yeah.
I don't know how public the person who told me about this story wants it to be. So I don't want to delve too much.
It happened on a live stream.
Yeah,
So,
and the live stream had to be
I
taken
just,
down if I'm not mistaken.
well, I mean, Nerdle took down a bunch of his old streams like that, so
Okay.
it was up for a good bit, though. I had the video of my reaction to her up for a good bit too.
Okay, this might
And
be a
I was
different
just
incident.
saying it. Look, and I'm like, hey, and I posted this part because on my own channel for a bit there because I just wanted to say, hey, because after this happened, they started going to Twitter and saying that I was verbally assaulting them or whatever, that I was being antagonistic. And what was really going on, I was almost in tears at that point because I'm like, look, you you don't have a right to just come in here and say make such serious accusations about people that you don't know. Leave my friends alone. And I tried to be as polite as possible. And so after that happened and they started, saying a bunch of shit about me on Twitter, like, oh, she's, verbally harassing someone or whatever. I just posted that one clip to show, no, that's not what happened.
Yeah, I didn't know about this incident actually. I was thinking of something else that happened where there was a cursed live stream, very cursed from my understanding.
Okay, we're gonna have to talk about this off stream because I'm
We
curious
are
now.
gonna have to talk off stream.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
sure you. I'm sure if I mentioned like who was involved, you'd immediately remember. But
DM it to me real quick, and
okay,
I'll
all right.
just say yes or no. Because there were a few.
I sent it.
Oh,
That incident.
I think I was there for that.
I was. I don't think I was. I might have been watching in the audience, but I don't know if I was
I
on
think
stream.
I was there. I think I was there for that because that name looks familiar.
Apparently, it was very cursed. In fact, it was so cursed it had to be taken
Yes,
down because it violated YouTube's terms of
yes,
service. That's how bad it
yep,
was.
yep, yep. I think I remember this.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Holy shit. I completely forgot about that, but I saw the name and I went, oh, 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 oh god.
Do you remember? Do you remember the ZachAttack incident?
Yep, I remember that.
Like we had these people.
Oh,
Some of
I
these.
remember
Like,
the
obviously,
name.
that's not the entire anti-GG community, and that's GamerGazi did condemn those people, to be clear. But
Yep, credit where it's due.
the fact that a fuck ton of them, it was like a dozen people who were like major figures, some of them in the anti-GG community, were like fucking outed
Hmm.
as doxers is insane.
Yeah,
Like Izzy Galvez, allegedly tried to dox Mombot,
allegedly.
allegedly, quote unquote. We got someone with Izzy Galvez's name and Twitter handle tried to dox allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. I do remember. And I remember seeing that shit, and I'm just like, oh, are you trying to piss off more people on our side? Because if that's what you're trying to do, you're good job. Applause all around. You did great. You did great at doing something fucked up, but I mean, you did great.
Why do you think the media didn't cover this, or like the harassment that pro GG people received when the anti Gamergate harassment that they received obviously received so much media coverage, whereas we got like virtually none, it seemed.
Because it broke the narrative. Simple as that. It broke the narrative.
Do you have any thoughts on the term sea lioning?
It's a term I haven't heard in a really fucking long time, and I can't even remember what it means.
There was this stupid comic. You know what? I'll just link it to you. It's on
Okay.
Wikipedia now. They even got their own. They even got their own Wikipedia entry.
Oh my god.
Here, this is the article, and it has a picture of the comic in it.
Oh god. Let's see here. I remember the term. I can't remember what it. Oh.
Basically, I mean, like, I don't want to misrepresent it to make it sound more favorable to me, but like, it seems like the sea lining thing is it's a term that people made up to describe if somebody makes a public comment and you criticize that comment, but you do so in a way that's both polite but also like insistent, like, hey, look, what's the evidence here? Let's delve into this. And
Right.
like, I think the sea lion was in the right based on this picture, except for when the sea lion followed her home at the very end.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What do you think?
I'm reading over the comic now. I think it's good to ask for evidence, especially for serious claims like pedophilia or sexual assault. I think claims like that, yeah, you could ruin a person's life with those claims. So yeah, I'm gonna need me personally. I'm gonna have to see some evidence before I go believing that. Um,
Like Arthur Chu.
yeah, like Arthur Chu. Um, oh God. I think hounding isn't the best way to do it. Simple. Hey, you got any proof of that? And just leave it at that. I don't think it should border into harassment. But I see nothing wrong with just a simple request for evidence, especially like I said on serious claims.
Do you think Arthur's going to be upset based on you saying that he might have called in the bomb threat, possibly, or knew about it? Doesn't he have a right to
I'm
be upset?
say, oh, he can be upset, sure. I'm just stating, you know what? I'm just stating an opinion. I will admit that I could be wrong. I could be dead wrong. There's a possibility he had absolutely nothing to do with it. But I think he might have. Might have.